Hello everyone, welcome to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at Ender's Game, Chapter 2, Peter. And this chapter gives me goosebumps every time I read it. It gives me the shivers. Oh, Peter is so freaky and scary. But it starts off with two unknown people talking together. And they're talking about Ender and what they did to this kid, and just kind of describing if he passes or if he fails their evaluation. And they talk about how they're gonna take Ender. He passed, and they're gonna do really terrible things to him. They're gonna ruin his life, but they need to do it. And they said, "Well, man, we're not here to be like the good fairy. We're the wicked witch, and we're gonna do what we need to do." And then it goes into the story. Just like us, Valerie says, "Oh, Ender, Valentine. Valentine says, "Ender, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you failed, that you're just like us now." And then Peter comes in, and he says, "Oh, you're just like us." And there's this really strange dynamic. Okay, Ender's the youngest. Valerie protects Ender, and Peter is crazy. And oh my goodness, he is a freaky brother. But Valerie tries to protect him. Now, I don't know why I keep calling her Valerie. Valentine keeps trying to protect him and says, "Peter, just leave him alone. He's just like us. You don't need to be angry or hurt him or anything like that." And Ender is sitting there trying to evaluate everything. What is the best thing I can do? What is Peter feeling? And he sees Peter looks either bored or angry. When he's bored or angry, that means Ender's going to feel pain. And so Ender's trying to be very cautious with what's going on. And Peter says, "You know what? Now no one's here to protect you. No one can see through your eyes or hear through your ears or wonder if I'm being mean to you. Let's play Buggers." And Buggers is a game where some group of kids or your younger brother or sister would pretend to be a bugger, and then the human astronauts would defeat the buggers with laser beams, or in this case with Peter, maybe actually hitting. And the games are usually fun, right? Just like cops and robbers, right? Something like that. But with this game, sometimes it can get a little bit mean. And with Peter, it started mean and sometimes got really bad. So Ender says, I'll play with you, Peter." And he goes up and he puts on this mask where he looks like has a bugger's face. We don't know what these really guys are. They're some kind of aliens. And Ender's like, if I was a bugger and I was looking at humans, what would I call humans as a bad name? And he's like, "I think I'd call them slimy because they're kind of soft and squishy." So he tells Peter, "Here, let's go, slimy." And then Peter says, "Slimy, huh? Okay, bugger." And then Ender can't see very well, but suddenly he feels a whack on the side of his head and he falls down to the ground. And then Peter puts his foot right on Ender's, groin. That's kind of the area between your legs. And he starts to, here's Ender's legs. He starts to step his fingers, and Ender's like, "Ah!" And then Peter just says, "Man, I could kill you right now. I could kill you, and no one would know." And he moves over and he puts his knee on Ender's, on his stomach, next to his lungs. And Ender can't breathe. And Peter says, "I could kill you. No one would ever know. And I'm gonna do it. I mean it." And Valerie comes in and says, "Leave him alone. Get off of him." And Peter says, "No one will believe you if I kill him." And she says, "Yes, they will, because I've already written a letter saying that if I die, you probably did it, and you'll probably kill Ender." And Peter says, "You know what? I'm not going to kill him. I'm not going to kill him today. And I'm not going to kill him tomorrow. and you're always going to be watching him, always going to be trying to protect Ender. And then one day you'll forget, and you'll come, and you'll see Ender, and he'll be safe. And then you'll watch him again. And then you'll forget again, and you'll come, oh, Ender! Oh, Ender's safe. Whew. And then it'll happen again and again until finally you think that I've forgotten. And then you'll forget. And then one day there will be an accident, and Ender will be dead. And then you'll remember this conversation, and you'll think it was me, but then you won't think it was me, and you'll feel guilty. But you know what? It's going to really be me, because I'm not going to forget. And he says, you won't worry so much the next time. You won't worry so much the next time. And then suddenly, Peter starts, oh my goodness, oh, he starts crying. He says, you guys are so funny. You believed me. Oh my goodness, you guys believed me. Oh, and Valerie says, Valentine, he says, oh, now you're going to say it was a joke. He says, it's not a joke. Oh my goodness, it's not a joke. It's a game. It's a game. I can make you guys believe whatever I want to. Oh my god, you guys are like puppets. Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys are so funny. And then Ender looks at Peter and he says, in his mind he's thinking, it wasn't a joke. It's not a game. Peter is a murderer. And he thinks like back to that boy that he beat up earlier in the day, and he has blood on his shoe from when he hit the kid. And he shows Peter the shoe. He says, you see this shoe, Peter? This is blood, and it's not my blood. He's kind of trying to show Peter that he's a threat, but Peter doesn't care at all, because he's an actual murderer. And finally, Valentine says, let's go. And then Mom comes home, and she sees, oh, Ender, oh, you didn't pass. Oh, Ender, I'm so sorry. Oh, Ender, that's too bad. And then Dad comes home and says, oh, you didn't pass. Oh, that's so great. Now I have 3 kids. The government liked you guys so much, they let me have 3 kids, and now they don't want to take any of you away. This is so wonderful. And Dad kept saying this over and over again, to the point where Ender felt like, I get it. I'm a third. You don't want me. And now you can't explain it to your friends when you have 3 kids, and we're going to be weird and strange, and people are going to look at us funny. I'm sorry. He's just thinking that in his head. Then he goes off to bed. Him and Peter sleep in the same room, and they're sleeping. And they're not actually sleeping, but Ender's pretending to sleep. Peter wakes up, gets out of bed, goes to the bathroom, comes back and looks at Ender. And Ender's just thinking, he's going to try and kill me. This is it. He's going to kill me. And Peter walks over, and he doesn't climb on his bed. And Ender just says, yep, this is it. And then Peter goes, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I love you. And then he climbs up into his bed, and Peter goes to sleep. And Ender's just sitting there thinking, actually, he's not breathing like that. I'm breathing like that. Ender is controlled. But in his mind, he's thinking, wow, Peter's going to kill me. Then, once Peter goes to bed, he rolls to his side and he starts crying again for the second time that day. Okay, a lot of vocabulary here. Psychoanalysis. I don't know what this actually means, but it's like listening to someone to try and understand how their brain works from all their family history and trauma and chemistry. Very deep brain stuff. Tousled is like messed up or mixed. Maybe Peter's hair is a little curly. And when they describe Peter, they say he looks like a young Alexander, handsome, strong, confident, a leader, and beautiful, but also a little edgy. Telltale. This is like a little sign that you can see from someone's body language that you can read what they're thinking or what they're going to do. And so when Peter comes in, he has this kind of smile that Ender knows is not going to be good, or this kind of look that Ender knows means it's going to be something painful. Mockery is saying something in a way that's opposite of it, or like pretending, teasing. Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so smart. But meaning it in the opposite way. And they're kind of mocking. Peter's mocking Ender. Vivisect. This is to open and look inside. And so Peter says, we're going to cut you open while you're alive to see what's going on. Pathetic is like really sad. Imagine seeing a little baby bird and it falls out of its nest and it broke its wing and it's going chirp, 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 and it's on the ground, chirp, chirp, chirp. You look at that, that is pathetic. You just feel so sad for this terrible situation of this thing. Suspicious, meaning something's not right. You have in your mind the sense that something is wrong or someone did something or someone's lying. You can't really say what it is, but there's something in your mind that doesn't fit and it just keeps going on in there. That is suspicious. Quarrel is a fight or an argument. Phony means fake. Oh, a few more here. Commiserated. Misery is to be sad, to be really, really sad. Commiserated means joining in your misery. Co, together. So his mom comes together and feels sad with Ender. Oh, Ender, I'm so sorry. That's so awful. Let's be sad together. Silhouetted means just seeing the shape. So if it's a nighttime, you can just see the shape of someone. You can't see the details, but you can kind of see the shape. You can see the silhouette. Discussion question. What would you do if you had a brother like Peter? Woo! And of course, please make your own discussion question. That is all the time that we have for today. But thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.